All set, Jeff? Set, yeah. All right, Michael. First, I was expecting gold shoes. No gold.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. You weren't expecting that. Those days are long gone.
4 years from now, LA's got these games. From what you've seen here in Paris, how does LA top it?
No, it's not our objective to top Paris, just like Paris wasn't trying to top, Tokyo. And, I've been to several games. Nobody's trying to top the last games. It's just not really the objective. The objective is, first and foremost, to put on a great games for spectators, for fans, and for athletes. And then also, to make bring some energy to the city and sort of show off your ability to host the world. And I think that, LA, having done this before and did a great job in '84, I think, we're well prepared for it for 28.
I know since I've been here, I've talked to you and Janet Evans, and so how important is it? Why is it so wise for them to tap into athletes like yourself that have been through this multiple times?
I think our Athletes Commission has done a really good job of, sort of informing our leadership as well, which I'm also a part of, so I sort of sit on both of those. I think it's, athletes have a different perspective, not only as athletes, but having been to multiple games. The folks that sit on our Athletes Commission have been to multiple games. They've seen what works and seen what doesn't work, and so I think it's invaluable to us as we focus on making sure that from all perspectives that this games is one that will not only be unforgettable, but one that could potentially transform how the games even are organized.
How do you transform now with games that have been around as long as they have?
Yeah, I think, if you look over the history of the Olympics, I mean, the games are always transformed, over time, always moving forward, always trying to figure out how to be more efficient as an Olympic Games, as an organizing committee, how to be more spectator friendly, how to be friendlier to the city as well that you're hosting the games in. So I think that, those are things that we're focused on, and those are things that I think lots of cities in the past have been focused on as well, and have made, some real innovation in terms of how the games are hosted. And if you look at how games were hosted, sort of 30 years ago, and how they're hosted today, that has continued to move forward. And I think LA sits in a good position to make a big leap forward in terms of how games are structured and hosted.
Here in Paris, we've seen some legendary performers like Simone Biles and Katie Ledecky and on and on, but they never had a chance to compete their own country in an Olympic Games. You got to do that in Atlanta and win. What are they in for, being able to do that in their own country?
Oh, it's an amazing experience, and you're very lucky if you get to do that. I mean, if we think about, we'll be hosting the games in 2028, it will have been 1996 the last time that happened. There were a lot of athletes who have competed in a lot of Olympics in between them, and those are American athletes that didn't get to do it in their own country. So the timing just happens to be right for them. It was just right for me, and it is an amazing opportunity, to go in there into a stadium in your home country with a crowd of people that are mostly there to support you. It's a fantastic experience.
We've also seen here in Paris the use of iconic places and where the venues are. For these athletes, track athletes, to be able to compete in the Coliseum, do you get chills just thinking of that? What's that going to be like for them?
For them, there's two different perspectives here. There's a fan perspective, which is amazing for us to see. We're seeing, these athletes competing here in Paris in these iconic, stadiums, and that'll be the same situation in LA for the track athletes. They don't care where they're competing. They know that this is my opportunity. These are the athletes I'm competing against. You could put them out here, on the sidewalk when it's the Olympic Games and medals are at stake and it's high, stakes and competition, and it's that once in a lifetime opportunity. They don't care where it is. But for us as spectators, yeah, it will be amazing.
What excites you most about LA having the games?
I think, LA having hosted it twice before, '84 was such an iconic games. For me personally, that was the first games that I ever saw. 1984 Los Angeles as a young kid, in Dallas, Texas, as a track athlete, just watching this going, this is amazing, and it's happening here in my country. But it was an iconic games, and I think that, you know, for me, what I'm most excited about is our ability to make this another iconic games.
Last thing, I know you're doing commentary for BBC. Who are you most excited to see in this last week?
Oh man, in this last week, I've been so in it. I'm excited to see Sydney McLaughlin-Lavone. You know, Sydney's just such an electric athlete, and she's breaking world records. She's winning gold medals. But I know, because I've been in that situation, I think most people think, oh, it's going to be easy for her to go out there and win. It's not easy. It's not easy. You know, even when you're a heavy favorite like that. So I'm excited to see her.
Is it harder to win when you're a heavy favorite? Does that pressure weigh on you?
It's harder both ways.
Yeah.
When you know, because when you're the heavy favorite, you know, yeah, there is a tremendous amount of pressure. You know, if you win, everybody expected that. If you lose, then that's news. You know, bigger news probably. Whereas but you have the confidence of knowing that, you know, you're a champion. You've done this before, and you're better than everyone else. When you're sort of the challenger coming up, you've never done this before. You've never actually won before. So you may have that doubt creep in of, you know, can I actually win this? You don't have the same level of confidence. So it's hard both ways, and they're both a different type of hard.
I know you experienced great success, but Barcelona didn't go your way. How did you overcome that? And how much did that motivate you for the next 4 or 8? For the rest of your career?
And that's the true nature of the Olympic Games. You have to be right on the day. I was world champion. I was ranked #1 in the world, undefeated for 3 straight years. I'm the heavy favorite to go into that Olympics and win, and got food poisoning, didn't even get into the finals. And at that point, you're wondering, man, will I ever get to the Olympics again? Or was that my one opportunity, and is it just gone? It's devastating. Fortunately, it all worked out for me. I did get back there, and it all worked out in spades. But that's the nature of the Olympics. I mean, there have been athletes who didn't ever get back there, and it's something you'll regret forever. But that's what makes the game special, though. That it's not like every other sport where it's like, oh, it didn't win this year, I'll just try again next year. There's no next year.
Michael, thank you so much.
Sure, no problem.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
So, a good friend of mine,